Do you want?
Yeah, leave that there. Yeah, leave it like that with the light on. That's good.
Yeah,
that's fine. Perfect.
Cool.
Let's go, bruv.
Cool.
You're like the third man to pass through Dredie man's mix zone. You might notice the background, you know. Can't live without it, can I? You know, I've got to be in a mix zone somewhere. And I really wanted to catch up with you to find out, A, how you're doing, how you're coping with the quarantine isolation. I know you're a family man. You normally got the grandkids around you all the time. That's the case at the moment, I guess. And, you know, a little bit difficult not to give them a hug, give them a squeeze. But then there's the business as well, you know, there's all of the things that I know you're involved in. So how have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been okay. You know, it is what it is. So you've got to, you know, I was talking to someone the other day and they said, sorry, Joel, let me just turn this phone off.
No worries.
Is it starting to...
Is there something else I can help with?
No, there's nothing you can help me with. I'm turning you off.
I'm not sure.
Keep chatting to you.
I don't know what's going on there. Sorry, Joel.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, someone said to me the other day, I don't cry when I make money, so I don't cry when I lose it. and it's very true, you know, that, you know, everybody's in a certain circumstance where, you know, you can't mentally beat yourself up about it. You've got to, you know, deal with the cards which have been dealt for you, and get on with it. So, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for me. It's not going to be easy for, you know, millions and millions of people, you know, on all different levels, you know, of society, you know. So, yeah, it's just, you know, just getting on with it, sitting tight and waiting to see what the next government announcement is.
The first thing, I was going to say, the first thing that went for you was 10K. You cancelled that very early, thank God.
Yeah, I see a few international events being cancelled, and obviously, you know, like Spain, Italy, so on, Germany, so on and so forth. And I thought, I'm going to make an early call. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And it turned out that I was right. So I'm glad that I made that call fairly early. I probably made it about 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks before other you know, karate events and mixed martial arts combat sports events started to get cancelled. But I was pleased we made that call, because the thing is with the 10K karate clash is it involves a lot of people in terms of athletes. You know, there's 40 athletes, then you've got 40 coaches, that's 80 people, you know, and then obviously that's officials, you know, about 10 to 15 officials, about 20 people working on the evening. You know, the numbers soon stack up, and where it's a British event, an international event, you know, we had, you know, people coming from abroad and all sorts. So I just felt it was right to make an early call on it, and I'm glad I did. And we have still got two good sponsors which are involved with the event, Kumite Coach and Spa Bar, and you know, both of them was like very supportive of, you know, the event being postponed. At the time I was considering to postpone it, and both said they'd be on board in the future. So, you know, thanks to them, that they've made life a little bit easier with the 10K karate clash. But it's still a big, you know, a big kick in the lower.
Of course. And then of course you're a chairman at a football league where how many kids, how many youngsters are involved in that?
We cater for about 3,500 youth every Sunday. So I'm chairman of the East London and Essex Junior Football League, which is based over at Wanstead Flats, and also full sports club over in Newbury Park. So yeah, we cater for under 7s through to under 17s. About 3,500 kids, around about 170. I think this season maybe 160, 170 teams. So obviously, you know, with that, you know, youth football, you know, youth any sport, you know, team sport, individual sport, no matter what sport it is, you know, whether it's tiddlywinks or you know, athletics, you know, it's still, everyone's still got to sit tight and hold tight, and you know, with karate, same with football, you know, just sitting tight, waiting to see how the rest of the year or the season pans out. And I think that's going to be a testing time for most sports athletes and sports promoters in terms of, what do you when everything goes back? A friend of mine said yesterday, the new normal to the new normal. You
That's
know,
right. That's right.
it's not going to be normal. It's going to be a new normal. So when we go back to this new normal, you know, what parameters have we got to work with this new normal? And that's the scary part, you know, for a promoter, you know, whether you're promoting sports events or you're promoting music concerts. You got to sit tight for a little. I think you got to sit tight for a little while and see how stuff pans out, because I think, you know, one, obviously this thing can come again, and it can come back bigger, and two, are people going to really want to go out? Are you gonna really want to sit, you know, around, you know, a few thousand people? I don't know.
Well, that lends. That's a great comment, because it lends itself to my next question, which is UFC gyms. You obviously have
Would you want to see me hanging from a tree today or something?
Well, I'm just trying to put it in perspective.
You want to see a noose around? You want to see a noose around my neck? Like,
I know
just
you're a
swinging from a tree.
solutions-orientated man. That's what it is. Because that space has been decimated, like, and you know, you've only got 2 locations at the moment, but I guess over the next 10 years, you'd plan to, you know, roll out. So I know
the plan is like 20, 23, 25 sites in the next certain amount of years.
Decade, right? Yeah.
Well, maybe sooner, to be honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're very lucky that right now we only have 2 sites open, rather than 22.
Of course.
Because some of the bigger operators, you know, they're getting hit for millions a month, like tens of millions a month. And I mean, that's some scary stuff. I mean, you know, I'm worried. Of course I'm worried. You know, the partners with UFC Gym are worried. Of course they're worried, you know. But what can you do? You can't do nothing. So you've just got to wait and see what happens. Work around the government guidelines, you know, whatever they are. I heard a new phase last night, which I think was social distancing disruption. I don't know if you've heard that one on the news. Social distancing disruption. It's a mouthful. SDD. Let's call it SDD, Campbell.
STD, yeah?
SDD.
Oh, right, okay.
Social distancing disruption. And how that's going to affect people's lives. You know, whether that's queuing up for a bag of potatoes or your latte in Starbucks or going to the gym. We don't know.
I heard that social distancing, no matter what's going to be in place until the end of the year, as a minimum.
Yes. So that's what they were saying on the news, which I watched yesterday. They added the disruption on the end, because it is going to disrupt the way we live, and it's definitely going to disrupt a lot of people's bank accounts and businesses. You know, I mean,
where's the happy place, Joe?
There's certain things. I was talking to a cousin of mine yesterday, and there's certain things I think when we go back to this new normal. I like the new normal one. When we go back there, I think there's certain things which I got into a groove of doing, you know, in normal life, which I probably won't do. Like me personally, like, I don't know, buying 2 or 3 coffees every day from Starbucks or Nero's, or I think I might just
like that.
I might just, I don't know why. I haven't. It comes to me when I was talking to a cousin of mine yesterday. We were just talking about, are we going to change when this happens? We had quite a deep and meaningful conversation last night for about an hour and a half. And are you going to be the same? Are you going to do things the same? And I don't think a lot of people will do things the same.
Have you been engaging in a lot more deep and meaningful during this period?
With certain people, yeah. With certain people, obviously, you know, everyone has their sort of close circle, if you like.
Of course.
And I think the time has been for me, it's been fairly reflective and grounding time, if you like, because
Mm.
you know, you look at the bigger picture with things, you know, with family, with close friends, you know, certain people which are not well.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of time for reflection, you know.
Mm. Humbling period, I guess,
I
for
think it's the
everybody.
humbling period for a lot of people, you
Mm.
know, and touch wood, you know, I personally don't know anyone which has passed from this COVID-19, you know,
Mm.
but a lot of people have, and you know, when you look at the numbers, you know, what people are going through and not being able to say goodbye properly to their loved ones, I mean, it must be horrendous time.
Have you been keeping up your own personal fitness, Joe? Because I know what you like. You put your foot up and have a little brandy.
I'll put my feet up and have a little brandy. I've been doing a silly walk every day.
Okay.
So I've been doing like between 5 and 8 miles a day.
That is a silly walk, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been doing it every day. In
It's
fact,
been good for you.
In fact, I got a big dirty blister on my foot through it.
Yeah.
It actually takes me back to when I used to compete. Yeah, like train. We used to when I used to compete internationally, we used to train in Barking Park,
Yeah.
and the dojo had a real thin carpet. Anyone which has been there knows it was horrendous, and it used to rip your feet apart. And I trained on that carpet since I was 7 years old. But even when I was like 21, 22, you'd still come away with big dirty blisters. It just used to burn your feet. So yeah, I've got a big stinking blister at the moment. But I didn't do the walk yesterday. I'm going to try and do it today because I'll give the blister a little rest. I popped it and it's drying up. But yeah, I've been doing. I should have shown you. I should have took a video of that, shouldn't I?
No thanks.
Mate, it's big. Honestly, it's about. It's like the size of maybe 1.5 50p coins.
So now I'm going to move on from that, and I'm going
Let's
to
talk about the
ask you
blister.
another line of questioning. All right, we'll leave the blister out of it. The missus, family.
Yes,
Everyone's good. Everyone's healthy.
everyone's good, mate. Everyone's good. It's both mine and the wife's birthday in April, so we've had
And yours as well, right?
Yeah, mine and my late mother's. So April's always birthday month, you know. So we've had quite a birthday than normal. So the grandchildren come round, and we didn't obviously have loads of people around. We just had the grandchildren and our daughter and other half, and we just sat in the garden in the day, kept our distance, which was a bit weird. And that was it. So, but no, everyone's well, Joel. What's your thoughts of when we go back to this new normal?
I have no idea. I'm like you. Each day a new thought pops into my mind. Like, you know, the world of football's in turmoil, and I guess that's where a lot of the biggest money is.
You know, I haven't actually kept up to speed with like the Premier League. What is the latest with? Because I'm in a few groups, as you can imagine. There's just been banter going, especially between the Arsenal and the Tottenham fans, like slagging each other off as they do 24/7 anyway.
As we do, yeah.
You know, as you do. But what is the latest with players and their wages?
Do you know what? I don't know. It changes every day.
Oh, really?
I do know that they are, and I don't know who they are, but there is a narrative being drip-fed so that it kind of works its way into people's subconscious, promoting behind closed doors football. Rodney and I discussed it on the Voice newspapers platform the other day in a area we call the chat room, and he pointed out that every football match at the highest level is going to need medical staff. Who in their right mind is going to want to take away from the NHS or any private entity that's available and supposed to be fighting the good fight against C-19?
Well,
how can football go on and legitimately have medical people there when we've got what we've got going on? It just doesn't make sense. And just for that reason alone, I don't know how they can host it behind closed doors or not. I spoke to a footballer yesterday who plays for a Premier League team, Courtney House. He's got a bit of music coming out tomorrow, actually, Friday, 24th.
Oh, really?
All proceeds going to the NHS, so good on him for that.
You know what? Can I just big up someone as well while we're talking about music and what people are doing with NHS? I've got to big up Chase and Status. They're also doing like big up NHS t-shirts.
Brilliant.
So they're quite good friends with Brad One Punch Pickett.
Brilliant.
And they're big MMA. Sol is a big MMA fan.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
And reached out to me with regards to what they're doing. So want to big them up and
shout them out, man. Anybody helping the NHS right now deserves a.
Correct, but it might be a good thing, Joel, to put your guy onto Chase and Status with what they're doing, and they can
see if they can link. Yeah, let's talk once we finish this and see if we can swap things about.
Yeah,
definitely.
We join the dots.
Yeah, no, anything we can do, mate. So yeah, I mean, he was talking about not knowing when Premier League's coming back. You know, he's training, he's trying to stay fit, but you're in the yard with no dates. You know, it's just players' contracts expire at the end of June. There's just so many different things and that impact on the decision to whether to play or not to play. And
I heard that some of the clubs have been sending out like bikes or treadmills to some of the players.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I mean, listen, anything they can do to keep their players fit and healthy and turning over, because it's not only just the physical aspect and that whole not knowing when you're going to get back to your day job, which is essentially what it is. It's the footballers are in a bubble, isn't there? There's that whole camaraderie of being around their teammates on a day-to-day basis and then expelling that energy at the end of the week, or, you know, just they're there now, just sitting in the house. Mentally, they need to be kept an eye on, you know, because left to their own devices, it could go left. And I think that's another challenge that they're facing that isn't spoken about as often as could be, but something that needs to be really looked at, because players, and they're not alone, and I talk about them being in their bubble, but players need that assistance, that little kind of
Are you just specifically talking about football now?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I say sport full stop.
Athletes,
because I was just talking about football in the Premier League and stuff, and having had that conversation yesterday and knowing what Courtney, you know, he's turned to music because he can sing. He's living with a producer. So it kind of makes sense for them to get creative in that way. That's a great outlet to have. I'm just saying every player hasn't got that outlet, you know?
No.
So
it's funny what you said, that what you and Rodney spoke about with regards to the medics and ambulance and service, because I believe I read the press release from the British Boxing Board of Control, and obviously, you know, I've worked quite close with them and got a lot of friends in boxing, that was their actual part of their main decision to cancel boxing when they did, because of that exact point. So I don't know if you see that first press release, but that was actually one of them. Yeah, it was highlighted.
Makes sense though, Joe.
Was a positive thing.
No, it makes sense, man. And I think every sport should take heed from that. I know there's a lot of money in football. There's a lot of money in a lot of sports. You saw what Dana White was doing. He had to got told to stand down by it. He was determined, wasn't he? And listen, I before all this COVID-19, I just finished the book Relentless. I know what it means to be relentless and not take no for an answer, and to be driven. But there's times you just gotta look at the bigger picture, man.
Yeah, I can see why. I can see why. I can see why as well. I get it. But stand down, sir. Stand down. Well, listen, bruv, it's nice to catch up on a business one. I'm sure we'll talk off cam on a personal one.
And
you, Mr. Campbell, who else you got coming up on the show?
I'm literally, as I come off the line to you, I'm going to talk to Richard Whitehead, Paralympic athlete who would have been going to his Olympics in Japan. He's 40 odd. He's our age, Joe. I don't know if he's going to be able to stretch it out till next year. This was meant to be his swan song year, you know, and it's been postponed. So I'm going to talk to him about it. He's literally.
I can trump that. I don't know if you've seen, but because the Olympics have been pushed back a year, Geoff Thompson MBE is thrown his name in the mix for 2021 Olympics karate.
Is he really?
I swear down it. There was a press release. I'll get it over to you.
Yes, I know.
He didn't actually mention that. Oh no, sorry, he did mention that. we've been doing 7 o'clock of an evening. We've been doing a lockdown catch up.
Yeah.
10K lockdown catch up with like the karate fraternity. And he jumped on there.
When did you start that? You started that this week, right?
I think we started that on the weekend. I think there's only been 4.
Is it 7 p.m. every day?
It was every day. We give yesterday a break.
Right,
well,
okay.
Roberta Reed's been doing the interviews.
Yeah.
So there's on there at the moment is Joe Kellaway, myself, Wayne Otto, Geoff Thompson, and Paul Newby.
Good luck.
So there's 5 good interviews on there, and yeah, Geoff has thrown his. So off the back of the interview he done on the 10K page on Facebook, that's 10K Karate Clash on Facebook, which you can check out. He talks about the Olympics, and since then there's been a press release, and it's gone in some of the nationals.
Yeah, you should have sent that over, you bloody. I didn't even see that.
Yeah. Well, it was only what day?
Yeah,
was
we'll
it?
get him on. We'll get him on here as well.
Yeah, no worries. I'll hook that up.
Yeah, we'll get him on here as well. That's great news.
I
The only thing I think though
is there anything else you want me to do? Do you want me to make you a cup of tea or something?
You know what, Joe? Can you just plot up next door? It's funny though, because I was talking to Jordan just before lockdown and all that, and obviously he was gearing up for the Jordan Thomas, yeah, he was gearing up for the qualifiers and looking forward to being a host with Michael Venom Page at 10K Karate as well, which I was really looking forward to. I think that would have been a great double act, to be honest. It's such a shame.
Yeah.
Make sure you lock them down for next year if you can get them. But
that's already done.
He was talking about just the fact that, there was only 2 spaces that he could, 3 spaces that he could possibly be vying for. And he had to go through the Olympic qualifiers because I'm not sure if the British Olympic Association had a dedicated spot. So they were going through the International Olympic Committee's qualifiers, which is every country, to try and vie for a spot. Now, if they made 3rd, 2nd and 3rd on the podium, it would have meant Jordan and Joe would have gone to rep GB. But now that can't happen. And I'm just thinking, if Geoff gets involved, does that take another spot away potentially from a younger man, Joe? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it would do.
But is that a positive thing?
If he's winning, he's winning. If he's not winning, he's not going nowhere, is he? It's as simple as that.
Sportsman mindset. If he's good enough, he goes. If he don't,
that is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
if he goes in there and he kicks ass, then he goes. If he don't perform, he don't go nowhere. I mean, a lot of people will argue that he didn't even get through round 1 of the 10K last year.
Yeah, that was a bit of a. He looked out of sorts, if I'm honest.
But he's still been training for the last year.
Right.
So
and that was the issue at 10K last year, is that he didn't really train for it.
It was he trained, but it was adapting to the new rules, the new distancing, the new this, the new that. Listen, mate, Geoff Thompson's a beast. Whether he's 21 or 61, he's an athlete, and his mindset is unbelievable. So, let's see what happens. And obviously, we announced in there that he's back at the 10K as well. So, all
right, well, there we go. Exclusive.
Interesting.
In Dredie's mix zone.
Also, another interesting fact is that his son, Jordan Thompson, who's a young heavyweight boxer or cruiserweight boxer, he was in camp with Tyson Fury for the Wilder fight. So he's one to keep an eye out for as well with boxing in the next couple of years. That's all I'm saying.
I will do that. I will look forward. Thanks for that, Joe. Can you line that up as well, please? The job's not done.
I'll do that in between. So what do you want? You want Geoff Thompson?
Yeah, give me Geoff whenever. I mean, listen, these can happen whenever, because obviously
a cup of tea.
Chasing status.
A cup of tea.
Maybe we just connect them two with a footballer and let them get on with what they get on with, and then when it's successful, we'll do something then, because I know they must be real busy.
Yeah. Do you want me to do you any sandwiches or send any food over to you?
I'm a popcorn and fizzy pop kind of guy, so just bear that in mind, all right?
You're amazing.
Joe, thanks for your time, my brother. I really appreciate it.
All right, stay well, Joe.
Look after, stay healthy.